Well, hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Katie in the Nest, and I am so glad to have you here. It's a happy home day for me, which means I've hardly been out of the house and I've had some time to stitch. So that is always my number one. So whatever you're up to, I hope that you are well, that the weekend or some downtime is ahead of you, and that you too have some time for yourself. Now, I know many of you stitch along with me and are doing your own thing. And if you're new here, I want to say that's what this is all about. I'm going to show you a new project today, which is probably a little bit out there. But because I know that we know each other and that's part of being friends, I'm just going to show you what I'm up to. So here in front of me is a little bit of a different palette, and I have to say this is the colors that have been sort of resonating with me in the last day or so. I have been wrapping up my day job work for a little while, and it is a return to truly being at home in my nest creating. And I did say to my husband, it's a little dangerous when I have a bit of time to create. Not dangerous in danger sense, but my mind, my heart, and my hands probably go a little bit crazy. So I started in one place thinking about this video, and I'm going to show you something completely different. And it's not very colourful. So I'm showing you the colour first, and then you'll get the context, because it's always about story. So I'm using not as one of my soft nets for a change. I'm actually using this little beautiful trinket tray that I was gifted by Kalpana when I was in Chennai last year for her son's wedding. Well, Phil and I were both there, and that leads me to my ongoing excitement that I am returning to Jaipur in this upcoming week. I don't know whether I've told you that or not, but I am. So I think I'm starting to channel all things bright and beautiful colors, and this bag popped out at me. I don't know whether I've shown you this, but in my last visit I collected all sorts of bags, and on Instagram today I've been starting to share that I'm going to spend my time stitching on the plane and while I'm over there on my wearables. And I've come up with a name, which is Art on the Heart, because they're going to be bits and pieces that I wear, maybe some other people in the world might want to wear. So therefore I'm thinking embellishment, and I'm thinking beautiful bits and pieces. So that's there because you know me and I love bags. This is here because I love these colors, and I love a good old cupcake pin cushion. In my tidying of the nest, I've come across so many of these that I have made along the way, big ones, small ones, and I usually do a mini makes. That's what I was going to do, but I felt that I had quite a lot of these. This is from Tracy from Western Australia. Hi, Tracy. So they're all just nesting there to get me in the mood, but we're going to start off with some inspiration and storytelling from someone a little bit more well-known than me, and that is people out of books. So I'm going to start with this book that I've shown you before. It's a curiosity of folklore, magic and spells. Please don't worry about the spells there. It's not that sort of book, but I love going through this book. I've showed you it before. It's got birds, it's got gorgeous colors, it's got it's symbols, it's stories, it's recipes. It's an absolute delight. And I was looking through this this morning and came across my favorite page, which I've shown you before, which is about the language of flowers and these birds. And I think this is what I'm leading to, what I'm working on at the moment. It's not a bird though. So are you curious? So that's where I was. I was thinking about that. And I keep these books on my coffee table, and they're always there for inspiration. Look at this, see? It's just, isn't it quite amazing how my colours are coming together in this way? And as I start to pack, I may as well say I'm taking this hexie pouch with me, but I'm going to embellish that before I go. And I have this zippered pouch as well that needs embellishing, but it's almost like is blue sort of coming into my work? Who knows? Zippers certainly are. Okay, so we're going to go to here, then we're going to go to the book itself, and then we're going to go to what I'm actually stitching. So stay with me, and if nothing else, just look at the pretty colours. This is a book that I've shown you before and I featured in my newsletter. By the way, that's coming out tomorrow. I'm on fire with getting organised. And speaking of my newsletter coming out, needles out. So this is the lovely Nicole Vogelsinger. And as I said, this was on my coffee table, and you can tell by being at home, I've had more time to go through my books. And I don't know about you, but I'm such a visual person, and things need to be visible, and then that just prompts my creativity. So I was flicking through this, and there's lots of beautiful things. It's got patterns. I've shown you before that it's got lots of projects, but I came across this. And in small print, it's a tale of two kitties and two beading methods. I think the wallpaper and the frames made me think of India, but not the cats, but the beading did as well. And I love beading. And as you know, I have been gifted by the beautiful Bron. Hello, Bron. Bron is now with Fleur in France. Can you believe it? At Fleur's beautiful retreat over there in something Marable. Anyway, this is my bead threader, needle threader and cutter, and I want to use this. And I keep talking about beading. I use other people's beading, but I want to do that, especially when I see all the beads of other places. Okay, so this is her book, and this is a picture of the cat surrounded and in relief. There's a use of beads. Okay, that's very different to my style, and do not worry, my work will look nothing like that. But that was an inspiration. And then I started to think about Easter and inspirations, and I'm starting to see people working on Easter and in particular bunny rabbits. So I'm coming up to this, and this is what I love about this book. It's so quirky. There's pictures of rabbits there, and a rabbit's foot in a pocket brings good luck. But over here it leads on to April, which I suppose is when Easter is. It's not that many weeks away. There's the nest. There's my favourite pink flowers and cherry blossoms. One of my son, as we speak, is in the air on his way to Tokyo. I haven't given him a list yet, but I might get him to pop into a store. He's got his girlfriend with him, and they might do it. And then look at these little photos. They're pictures, illustrations. They're about eggs, and I love this. and specifically about hares. Hares, that's the biggest hint so far. So look at this, hares. It's not a reading, but I'm going to read it out. Hares are bringers of luck and knowledge. They are symbolic of the moon as they are nocturnal, appearing and disappearing as quickly and quietly as the shadows associated with the night sky and serenity. The Celts believed that wise women had the power of transfiguration and in the moonlight could change into hares. Now, the legend of the Easter rabbit decorating and delivering chocolate eggs became popular in the 19th century. So, I don't know about you. I haven't turned into a hare in the middle of the night. I might have too many hairs in places that I don't want them, and I wish they would disappear. But da-da-da-da! The very long lead-in is about this panel of fabric that I bought in Perth at the amazing cloth, Calico and Ivy. So it's a panel of rabbits, be they hares or rabbits, and you know this is a big stretch for me. And at the time, I bought it because I couldn't stop myself, and it said heirloom. And I had been looking for things starting with H for my Hope tote. So I suddenly thought, will I put a hare onto that? Now there's another saga about the Hope tote, and I'm sorry if you've been looking for a video labeled that. I haven't labeled as such, and I'll have to do an update, but that's not today's video either. So you had to buy this as a panel, and there are bunny rabbits, quite large, all over the place. And at the time, I think I showed you, and I said they're quite dark. Indeed, they're black, but they are so cute. So, what am I doing? I have been thinking about where I can use these sorts of things. And I'm just going to my cupboard here because I had another prop that I was going to show you. I'm in my cupboard. One of these days I'm going to show you in here. It's getting better. Oh no. That is a real shame because that would have really played in beautifully. I can't really say, just talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I've just found my Fleur, nope, I just haven't got it. Sorry everyone. I hope you were focusing on those hairs. They'll have to be in my next video because this will take a couple. All right. So without any more ado, or what's that word? Adieu. I've just found a light that's gone on around my neck. Okay. I'm using these on my wearables. Well, I would like to. I haven't gone very far with using creatures, and so I thought I would give it a go. So this is very unlike Kate in the Nest, so prepare yourself. I have put the hair it's all things sage. I put the hair in a hoop, and I am starting to work on this rabbit Kate style. And I have no idea where I'm going, but because I'm stitching anyway and was having just such a great time playing, I'm just turning the video on, and let's do this. Okay, where have I started? I have, you know, this is incredibly rare for me. I am not professional in any way, and this is a piece of fabric without a piece of blanket on it. So luckily I've got my colours and surrounded in my nest. But I have used my thread, and I've decided the first thing I'm doing is I'm outlining these white bits. Now that made me worry about the rabbit's eyes, so maybe I should have done them first, but I don't know how to do them. So you're probably all screaming at me, in the nicest possible way. I don't mean bad screaming. You're probably saying, Kate, you should have done the eyes first, and don't do it that way. And I appreciate that, because I'm just learning. I'm going to just finish that off there. So, have you started to think about Easter? I think I'm just feeling very homely, and I don't usually think about Easter, but I said to my husband, I feel like really celebrating like family and creating an excuse to invite people. Usually we travel, not travel very far, but go somewhere to a family place, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll host. And then I could make I've never made bunting. It gives me an excuse to look for things in India, maybe. Now I've got a plan. So I don't know whether you were planning that, but hey, you can come to India with me next week. I'll take my little filming, little paraphernalia, that's a big word, just for a week. I'm going not on a tour, so we will see how that goes. I'm planning to revisit some of the places that I went last year, and why? Well, creatively, it just opened something in my soul last year, and on top of that, I loved being able to share things with you when I came home, and I love being able to share things in my workshops. And I've run out of a lot of the things that people loved. So and plus it's I don't need a reward, but I have a little bit of time out, and my husband is absolutely wonderful. I'm never going to have as much of a busy time again in term one, though, but this was planned before I got my accidental day job, which is now over. Okay, I've just I rethreaded, obviously, and didn't tie a knot. I've also been gifted by beautiful people a lot of swans, so I thought I'd like to use swans on my wearables as well. Fabric swans. Oh, I didn't tell you about that page in Nicole's book. It talks about finding fabric that's already got the image on it. Ta-dang, that's where I left out that part of the story. So that's what I'm trying with this. I thought I've got a bunny rabbit. Well, in fact, feels like quite a number of bunny rabbits. And if this one doesn't work, it's, as I said, part of the learning process. Oh, making all sorts of funny sounds in my excitement. I was going to go outline first, but I didn't. I don't like that big stitch there, but I'm sure I'll do something with that. Now I'm going to come down and do these other bits, or maybe I'll do that bit. So this is new for me. I'm just... So if I use this again, it will be backed onto something and then backed onto a garment is the idea. And I'm just using stem stitch. I could have gone down there. Not good with a herb. Because I think you're supposed to go in and out, aren't you? Like up and down. So why am I using this? Well, we'll see. It may not last long, but at least it's easier maybe for you to see. I know a lot of people who do embroideries separately. Let's see if I can go up and down. I like that bit of hot pink. So it's going to be Fluoro Bunny, Bright Bunny. I was watching Karen from Railway Cottage Studios, and she's doing a textile book on Olaf, who I think is he a bunny or a bear? I don't know, but she's such a great storyteller as well as a teacher, and so I think that was what was inspiring me. As I said, you've watched me start birds before and bead them and not get very far, but gotta start somewhere. So I'm using like a stem stitch, only because I know how to do that in a straight line. And now I'm going diagonal, and I don't know whether that's the right thing to do, but no right or wrong, that's what they say. I just think of it as colouring in. And because I'm a grown-up, I don't outline first. Do you remember how you used to colour in? Where you started? I loved colouring in, and I think that's why I call this rather than thread painting. So I haven't got my thread painting license yet. Whereas colouring in sounds way more approachable. We want more and more people to be doing this, don't we? For the benefits. I talked to my beautiful mum this morning who was stitching away, and we were talking about, I'd seen on Instagram an artist that was 91 and who said she paints every day at 91. She was stooped over, but her work was incredible. And I said, Mum, isn't it wonderful to know that there are so many of us that just, if we don't make with our hands, well, that not that if we don't, that making with our hands is such an important part of our well-being. Mum agreed. She tell me she's just finished and given away her final quilt, because it's not that she doesn't want to keep making them, she's a machine quilter, but her shoulders do not, well, it's just too physically exhausting. So if you're a quilter out there, just keep loving it and do it as long as you possibly can. I felt a bit sad for her, but as I shared before, she's moved on to pot holders, and she's making me a lot of machine embroidered applique bees. So I've been told to pick them up next time I see her. So I've done this a lot longer than I thought, and you might be bored in this one colour, but you're working on your own things, I'm sure. Now I have had to go through and see, well, number one, even though this bunny is black, I knew I couldn't do it black because I couldn't find, well, I had to go searching. And I know that Karen is a fan of chocolate brown. So I'm thinking about trying, rather than black and the fluoro, just seeing what chocolate brown looks like. So in here, there's supposed to be an eye, and in here. And the good thing is I can compare it. Where's the same rabbit? Is that the same one? Hello. One day when I've got a great story about rabbits. Okay, so if I had my friction pen here, I do have, I was going to say I've got a black one, but I have got a blue one, because people tell me you should do it in a different colour. So there's sort of an eye there. I can't see that. And one here. So what do you think? Did I just bump the whole table? Like, do you give a bunny a... What am I going to do, everyone? I don't think black. Do you know why? Because when I talk about beading, I feel like I want to, I don't know. And I thought I could bead around this area, or they're very dark-eyed, these bunnies. Maybe I'll start with brown, just so I can see it a little bit. And then I can always colour. I've got black. I'll do brown, just because I've never stitched in brown. And I've never done a hare. I think I have done a hare. That's why I was going to show you. I did one that Christian gave me. It was quilting fabric again. All of a sudden I seem to only have really long needles. There's a short one. So how is this for Saturday afternoon entertainment. You have to put up with my terrible nails at the moment. They've done well, and they will be done again before I travel, but I can't get to the place yet. Okay, so I have to poke. Now, I was going to cut all those other bunnies off, but then if I cut them, they won't fit in the hoop, will they? So that was another whole complex little thought process my brain went through. So I'm just doing a satin stitch, and I certainly don't want to sound like an expert because this is it's like literally stitching in the dark. But at least I know that there's a shape there. Oh gosh. One more stitch. Can be a bit like Braille. I can feel where the eye was meant to be. Okay, so now I'm there. I'm thinking that I might do this little bit of nose. Before I go up and do the other eye. Oh. That looks too white, doesn't it? It's pink, but I can't. Don't let me go too realistic because then I'll never actually be brave enough to try it. So just got to stick with it. I don't like all that getting caught up. Beautiful day here. It was cooler this morning, so we can feel that autumn is coming. Well, autumn is here, isn't it? But you know, like that the trees will soon, the leaves will start changing. Our area is very well known for the real change of climate, in that we have 4 seasons, where in Sydney which isn't that far away, it doesn't have as much change. Okay, go down there now. I don't want him to be a sad rabbit, so that's going to be the art of it as well, isn't it? Like, how do you make a happy rabbit again? Because now this looks like a frown. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go up here. Just going to carry that thread. if you never see this rabbit again or hare, you'll know that it was a building block. Maybe too ambitious, but okay. There's some eyes there. I notice some of them have got other light stitches around them. Oh gosh, I don't know what they did there. I better check if we're still, yep, we still are. Okay, a little bit of brown. I want to do something a bit wild as well. I've learned with this DMC that you should pull from the number end. It's variegated. So on this other side, let's see what it feels like to have orange fur. Picked up the, oh gosh, that's a bit messy in there. Picked up the end of my cotton. So, you know, I think you've seen me struggle with this probably long enough. I need to put something light, I think, in there. And this one is just too light, so I might unpick that bit. So it's to be continued. I might wrap that bunny up. Show you that bunny. I'd like that ear. That's where I'm up to. And say thank you so much for watching. And you know, I hope me experimenting like this makes you feel just freer. Look, I can do other things that's just popping there, but anything realistic is a struggle for me. But still fun. Okay, my friends, happy weekend, happy stitching. Let's go back to some colour and my favourite things to finish off the video. I will see you again soon, and I will, because I've got to do lots of things before I actually fly. Okay, from now, well, until next time, this is Kate in the Nest. Bye.